16, 17? Okay. You know what I was doing when I was your age? I kind of ran away from home because I did not want to go to school. You kids can relate.
Yes.
Nobody likes school. Maybe the girls more than the boys. But I was 15 years old, and I had found out about Narasimha through a book. I found a book in a temple. It fell open, and I picked it off the ground, and it said, "Oh, Andhra Pradesh, 9 temples of Narasimha. Narasimha manifested there." I had no idea. Narasimha manifested in India and Andhra. So I became, and when I was 15, I was a responsible guy, so I had a lot of money. And I worked hard, I did things you wouldn't believe, like I modeled, I made a lot of money. So I said, I'm going to India. I told my parents at 15. Imagine you guys telling your mom. You think she'll let you go?
Yes. Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah. 15 years.
Okay, maybe you're lucky.
Yeah.
So I got on a plane and I went to India, and I didn't speak any of the languages, even though I grew up there. I grew up in India, and it was amazing because devotees, whether from Andhra, now Andhra Telangana, whether from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, all these beautiful states, nobody's here from Kerala, I'm assuming. Maharashtra, obviously, we have some Maharashtrians. Delhi, everywhere, Rajasthan, Gujarat, any Gujaratis? No Gujaratis? I'm shocked. There's always a Gujarati. Anyways, so I went to Andhra. I didn't speak Telugu. And let me tell you, back then, they didn't speak English.
Yes.
Only the old people who were like when the British invasion, you know, they learned English. They knew colloquial English. I didn't know at the time. So I had a photo of Narasimha, and I just kind of was like, hey, where's the Narasimha temples? Narasimha Devasthanam, they say in the south. But at first I went to a Hobalam. And I had the most incredible experience.
Ahobilam, yes.
9 temples of Narasimha in the jungle.
Yes.
And I was crazy. I slept in the jungle, inside the last temple, and the bears came at night, and there was tigers. And at 15 years old, I was sleeping there. And then when I was walking to go to another Narasimha, 15 kilometers in the jungle I was walking, a tiger came with the baby cubs, and I had to climb on the tree. I was 15, that was wild. It was my 16th year, but I was still 15. And then it became like a roller coaster because in Andhra, many of you are from Andhra Telangana, maybe a few. You're from Andhra? Oh, cool. You guys are Nrsinga people. You're from Andhra, you're Nrsinga people. Mainly their Kuladev, Ishtadev in Andhra is Narasimha. Even if they worship Balaji, this, that, Ram, if they go back in their forefathers, always it's Narasimha.
Wow.
So in Andhra, it was crazy because they were like, oh, nobody spoke English, and I was like, where's more temples, I want more, right? Like candies or sweets, we want more of it. So it sent me on this mission where I just kept going from bus to bus, rickshaw, sleeping in bus stands.
Wow.
And I was wearing much less than this, you know, the small veshti, no chadar, and my kamandalu. And I would just go hop in the river or the pond and hop out, and I was, clean. Because you would dry in 5 minutes. It was so hot, like Texas in the summer. It's very hot. So I went from one, you know, Hobalam, Yadagiri, Gutta, all these different places where Nrsingadev manifests, to devotees, to sages, yogis, yoginis. And I disappeared in Andhra for like 6+ months. And back then there was no, iPhones. You guys wouldn't be able to imagine life without iPhones. There wasn't even flip phones.
Wow.
There was big satellite, big phones like this. They had STD, ISD in India. You had to call internationally. There was internet cafes that took you 30 minutes to just open the inbox.
Yes.
I smashed so many keyboards. I couldn't wait so long, you know. And then you had to open one email took like 10-15 minutes. So I just disappeared, and my parents were very scared, you know. I put a lot of anxiety on them. I didn't know. And I ended up from Andhra finding hundreds of temples through Andhra Telangana. And they were like, anybody from Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu, you know. So Tamil Nadu is one of my favorite states because in Andhra they have big temples. And first the Andhra people told me, why do you want to go to Tamil Nadu? There's nothing in Tamil Nadu. It's the ocean. And fishermen, don't waste your time. Narshima's in Andhra, Telangana. And I was like, doesn't make sense. That's like saying there's no, like only Texas has everything and no other state has something. I didn't believe them. But I could tell it was like a spiritual competition. Like, Narsimha is ours. So stay here with us. So when I showed up in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, well now it's called, is it different?
It is Chennai now.
Chennai.
It was before
Madras.
Madras, yeah, Chennai, or it was Madras then. I had been in the jungle 6-7 months. And I still like my American perks. You guys have whatever people have their Starbucks, their this, their that, you know. Well, actually, in India you can get all this stuff. But back then, I liked hot chocolate, and I never drank a chai. Can you believe it? It's like a sin. It's crazy. I've been in India my whole life, and I haven't tasted chai.
Wow.
I love the smell, but I couldn't. You know, the first time I saw chai when I was like 6. It was a guy who was like picking his nose and even in the restaurant, it never left my eyes. Like, no, don't.
No.
The guy in the back, maybe he's like, combing the hair and then making the chai. So I saw a signboard that said American hot chocolate when I arrived in Chennai. And I was like, oh, American. I was so bliss. It was a company called Cafe Coffee Day. Like the wannabe Starbucks back then.
Yeah.
So I showed up in my, my veshti and my padukas and my kamandala. I go right inside and I just walk right to the front of the line. I said, please, I need one American hot chocolate. It was like 5 rupees back then. And, okay, sir, and they made me, and there was 2 young girls, maybe your guys' age, you're 16 or something, 15, something? Yeah, they were like that age. 2 sisters. They come up to me and they say, hey, man. Perfect English. What are you doing here? I was like, I'm just trying to get a hot chocolate, please. Can I just get a hot chocolate? And they're like, no, but why are you in India? What are you wearing this stuff for? And they were dressed, Punjabi stuff, nice, classy. And I said, well, and I thought I would throw them off, like, just leave me alone. These are just young girls. What do they know about culture, right? So I said, look, I'm looking for Narsimha, okay? So can I just drink my hot chocolate, please? And they looked at me and they said, oh, you should come with us. I said, why? You should meet our Amma, our mother. And I was like, but what? Can I at least drink this? He said, sure. So I finished my chocolate, and I'm being escorted by these young girls, beautiful young girls, and we get outside, and there's these men with guns, machine guns.
Wow.
They're security. They were very wealthy, billionaire. Their father was very, very powerful, billionaire, industrialist, politician. I didn't know. And inside, in front of there was the Bentley, Rolls Royce, and then the big cars. So they walk. I was thinking, they're gonna kidnap me. I said, what's going on? They're like, no, they're with us. I said, why do you have this? Oh, it's our parents. They forced. So I got into the middle, and each girl was on one side of this Bentley thing, and I'm like, dirty and like a hippie, like unshaved. And they bring me to this place in Chennai, big house, like this size house in India, big house, And they said, just go, she's there waiting for you. And I was like, she's waiting for me? This is a bunch of nonsense. Just go see her. So I get out of the car and I walk and I hear the bell, ding, 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 ding. And I go in and I see this old woman sitting on the ground doing puja to her Narsimha altar, and there was hundreds and hundreds of Narsimha, gold, silver, so many diamonds, and just opulence I'd never seen. And she was offering the diya, the lamp, and she heard me. I was like, it's like when you go shopping, you see that top or something you want, you're like, oh, there it is. I was so in bliss. So she heard me, and she was like, oh, Ranga, come sit down. I sat next to her. She said, oh, I've been waiting for you. He told me you were coming.
Oh.
And I was still skeptical, like I'm American. Like, prove it. Now you see contemporary Hindu kids, they're very arrogant. They have abhiman, like, oh, mom and dad, this is just, this is just, what do they call it? Mythology. But then they'll believe their idiot teachers in class about history that is not even real. Or they'll believe about the Romans or these, idiotic things. But then a real culture that has history of chronology, 5, 10, 20,000 years, they won't believe. So I was Western, even though I was born in ISKCON and everything. Still, prove it. Even though I had seen so many temples and experiences, I was like, oh, he told you I was coming? Okay. But she was so powerful. She couldn't have kids, Any doctors here? No doctors? Anyway, she was totally not possible for her to have kids. She traveled Switzerland, America, so she tried everything. Her husband also was impotent. Impossible for him to have seed. So she was a very wealthy woman. She was like, when I met her, she was 70 plus. But that time when she couldn't have kids, she was in her late 40s. And so she was very angry at God. She said, Bhagavan, how dare you give me this body and you don't give me a child? Is this a joke? You're joking with me?
Wow.
So she was cursing Bhagavan. How dare you? Her husband was more, this is our karma. She refused to admit it. No. So that night she had a dream. Narsimha Bhagavan came and said, no tapa, no tapasya, and you want everything? Already you have everything? You don't even give in charity to homeless, you do nothing. And you want something from no. Do tapasya.
Wow.
So in Tamil Nadu there's one temple called Solingar Narasimha. He's on a big mountain. You know Solingar? No? Yeah? Beautiful. Yoga Narasimha. Wow. And the Saptarishis, big yogis, were doing tapasya and Narasimha manifests and they worshipped him. Very powerful. And Anjanaya, Hanuman, also worshipped Narasimha there. So she did for 30 days in the month of Kartik. She took all her gold Rolex. She had big. Can you remember her what is it, the marriage? Mangala Sutra. It was like 2-3 kilos gold.
Wow.
Everything was off. No fancy nail job or anything. And she went to Sholingar. She was sleeping at the bottom, on the ground, and only eating what they gave her.
Wow.
This woman, husband's billionaire. And nobody knew her there. So she would bathe in the pukur, and she was sleeping there. And it's a dangerous place. There's monkeys. There's also wild, sometimes they say, let come. So she did this, and she didn't walk upstairs. She was walking on the hands and knees,
Wow.
like a dog. Because Madhva Acharya did this, Ramanuja Acharya, Shankara.
Wow.
These great devotees, they didn't walk up like, oh, here I am, God. I'm coming for you to see me. No, they were walking up thinking, I am your dog. Please, give me mercy. So she did this for 30 days. On the last night, he came in the dream and said, I will give you 2 girls. So she was telling me this story.
Wow.
And the girls had good samskars. I know kids who have good samskars and kids that have naughty samskars. They're very powerful, they're glowing, intelligent. And these girls were, I wasn't into girls, I was 15, 16. I was modeling, I did all, but these girls, some of the few rare girls I respected very much. Unbelievable samskars. So Amma's telling me this, she said, so tomorrow we'll leave to see Narasimha. I know, he told me to show you temples. And Tamil mothers are very powerful, heavy, no nonsense. And in Tamil Nadu, the Brahmins can be a little bit abhiman, puffed up, especially to the whites, because the Christians invaded, the British invaded, and they're anyways puffed up. So I'm white guy.
They're puffed
So so Amma was taking me to the temples. A few temples they didn't let me in. No, he's not Hindu. Even though I'm wearing full Hindu. No. And I didn't know Tamil.
Yeah.
But whatever she was saying,
Yeah.
it was very. And then the Brahmins put their heads down. Okay, Amma. They let me come. She showed me many temples.
Wow.
And back then I didn't, we didn't have WhatsApp to share contacts. She gave me some paper, I lost it, but I heard she died. I always thought of her though in my mind. She had many disciples, 10,000 plus disciples.
Krishna.
I didn't know. She wasn't guru, but they worshipped her love for Narasimha. And she would worship him with bowls of diamonds,
Wow.
bowls of gold. I was like, this is how you worship God. Normally we worship ourselves. Oh, I want new earrings. Bhagwan, I will fight the Walla if you give me a discount for his kapra or his plates. But for me, I'll take best. No, she was like, I don't need this garbage. Everything is his. I have everything. My kids are good. And she told me before she died, she said, you know, all these deities are yours when I die.
Oh.
And her daughters were there, right? But I didn't care back then. I was just doing my Narasimha stuff. And I lost contact. I tried since now to contact. I forget the girl. I'm very bad with names. And I never would call the girls by their first names, you know. So we were taught this. And so here life goes on. But from her contact in Tamil Nadu, then I went through to Kerala. Kerala is Christian country.
Yes.
They're all about Christianity. And I grew up in, you know, America. I have a lot of Christian friends. So I went to churches. I respected all the cultures and traditions. I didn't lose faith in my, but I didn't disrespect others. So I showed up in Kerala, and the first temple I went was a nice Gopuram. You know, in South they have this beautiful Gopuram. It's like heaven for me. So I was like, oh, a temple. I'll go there and see if they know some Narasimha places. And when I came around the front of the temple, there was a huge cross on the Gopuram. I was like, what the hell? Why is there a Christian cross on the Gopuram?
Yeah.
And then I go inside the temple, and there's Mother Mary in a sari, with her head covered, of course, with bangles, with the bindi, with Mangala Sutra. She's like an idol. Little baby Jesus in a dhoti with bindi and everything, you know. And I was like, I was blown, because this is a Hindu temple. Why is there a Christian? So I get down on my knees in front of Mother Mary, which you should do. She's the mother. And I was offering prayer. Ma, Amma, I'm trying to find Narasimha. Can you help me find Narasimha? And all of a sudden, an elder man comes. Father John, something, Padmanabhan, something. He didn't get rid of his family name, but his first name was John, Father John. And he's like, my son, how are you? What brought you here? So I said, Father, you probably won't know. You probably won't understand, Father, but I'm looking for this Hindu god called Narasimha. And he says, oh, I know Narasimha. I know Narasimha very well. I said, I was like, you do?
Wow.
I was like, can you tell me where some temples are? And he said, listen. I'll wait till she's shocked.
Okay.
He said, listen, my son, I know there's some temples. I can take you, but you have to do something for me. And I was thinking, oh, he's going to make me convert. But I was going to do it for Narasimha, no problem. Dunk me in the water. But he didn't. He said, you pray with me in my temple, my church, and I'll go with you and pray with you in yours. I was like, perfect. He got on his knees. Oh, Father, thou art in heaven, kingdom come. And then I was like, Jai, Mother Mary. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. And it was funny. He was so kind. He had an old ambassador. I love ambassadors. They're like tanks. You guys never been to India?
Yeah.
You've never been an ambassador? Well, you've been to Calcutta? No. Up at Bombay? Oh, they don't know ambassadors. They're such cool cars. They're tanks. They're actually like, you know, the Tesla's bulletproof?
Yeah.
No, but the ambassador's the first bulletproof car. So it drives like only like 20 kilometers an hour though. But
Yep.
so we were in there, he's driving, and he takes me to like, over a period of almost 3 days, he takes me to 5 Narasimha temples. And every temple he came in, dressed like, you know, a father, very respectful, he bowed always. And he was very kind, he was translating for me, you know, because he spoke perfect English. And he also allowed me, told them, they would let him in the temple a few, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
They're like, he's not Hindu. And I was like, he's a Christian. And then he told them, listen, you cannot be like this. You have to let him in. He is. So he was very kind. And then on the third day, he was like, my son, I have to go back. I have responsibilities. But I want to tell you something. Narasimha was always my favorite, and he still is.
Wow.
It was amazing. And then from him, I went to Karnataka. Karnataka has so much wealth, the Brahmins, good Saraswats, Udupi Krishna. It was amazing. And learning about the dynasties, the Cholas, the Cholas, the Vijayanagaras, the Pallavas, the list goes on. These kings were grihastas, enjoying. Some had one wife, some had 20, 30, maybe even not so into this, but they had so much power, money, and luxury.
Yes.
But what did they do with it? Built temples, did pujas, did havanas. Powerful stuff. I kept learning this as I went through Karnataka and Maharashtra. One queen of Maharashtra, she was a woman. Women shouldn't traditionally go into Mandir, especially when they're young, because of the cycle. But when they get older, they can, because then the cycle's gone. But this queen, her husband was dying. He was the king of Ramtek, big dynasty. She said, my lord, my love, what can I do to satisfy you when you die? Like after you die, what should I do? He said, you have to worship Narasimha. That's all I want from you. And so when the husband died, she became then queen, queen king, And all of a sudden, the Brahmin said, you cannot come in the mandir. And she said, oh, really? So she built her own mandir.
Wow.
Same form, huge deity, like 9 foot tall, Kevala Narasimha. And she died in front of him. She was doing seva in her old age, and she died. So it's been an epic adventure, over the years, like Indiana Jones. And it was cool because then I avoided the whole school thing. and then I was able to figure out how can I stay in India and make money, because I ran out of all the money I had. So I started businesses there. I met I first met Narendra Modi like 30 years back. I met all these big Bollywood stars. I'm still friends with a lot of them to this day. You would know them. I've never seen a Bollywood movie in my life. Can you imagine? What a sin. Bad man. I just can't sit there. I can't do it. It's too long. I can't handle it. The dancing is too much for me. So but a lot of them, because I was white, I could get away with stuff. So I would be in Bombay or these big cities, Pune, Bangalore, and I would see kind of westernized Indians coming out of Mercedes, and I would walk, hey, excuse me, you speak English? And they'd be like, of course. And I'd be like, oh, thank God. Can you help me? People like Hrithik Roshan and Salman Khan, all these guys. I didn't know who they were. I didn't care. All I knew is, hey, maybe they speak English. And then over the years, we became friends, and they helped me. Sai Baba, Sadhu. I knew Sadhguru before he was. I guess. Wow, he was better before he became famous. Fame destroys you. Fame corrupts you. Sai Baba helped me. Little Sai Baba Portapati. He was like this tall, big. He helped me with Narasimha, find some temples. He was very kind. So I had so much help, while I was there. And it was very selfish. I just wanted to find Narasimha for myself. Like now 1,000, almost 500 temples. That's a lot of temples. And I was completely against marriage because I wanted my freedom. Marriage means capture. Where are you going, Baba? The wife is, hey, where do you think you're going? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do this. But eventually I hit the wall called marriage. And it was like Ferrari then to ambassador. But it was good because I had so many years of my life, I committed to this seva, tapasya, and doing what I wanted to do and what I love. So then then I married a Indian, she was a Bollywood actress, but she's white girl, she grew up in India. And so we had similar, she worships Narasimha, she worships Krishna Jana, pure vegetarian, no this drinking, smoking. And then I told her in the beginning, listen, Narasimha's kind of number one. Sorry. These girls, they want to be number one. And then, my sadhu are number 2. And if, we have kids, they're number 3. My parents, number 4. So maybe you're number 5. Is that okay? So she's luckily, very lucky. And, a lot of men And women have bad addiction tendencies, especially nowadays with these phones. And I told her my addiction is my seva to Narsima. So let me. And she's deal.
So nice.
Made a deal. It's called spiritual manipulation. Made a deal, yeah. So, and nowadays the first book was big. I didn't even launch in India, but second book called Narsima, God of Yoga, showing how yoga came from Narsima and how Sanatana is so powerful. Patanjali is talking about Narsima and Prahlad's yoga. So it's going to be a huge ripple effect in spreading Sanatana worldwide. Because yoga is so big, everybody loves yoga. But they don't know the essence of it. They're worshiping Kali, Durga, Shiva, Saraswati, Krishna. It's like khichdi, right? But no, Narsimha's God of yoga. Why, how, when, and where?
Yeah.
And here's the facts. So, any questions? Anyone want to add? Because I have to get going, unfortunately.
Prabhu, Mataji is not here with you. We would have loved
No,
to meet
no,
her too.
no. But then I have no, too much. No, she likes in Florida. They're going to India soon.
Oh, they're in Florida right now? Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I need my peace. Shanti. And you know, my son. Luckily, my son, good sanskars. He went to India. Went to so many temples.
Wow.
It's just natural. Because when he was born, you see, the act of making a child is very quick, as you know. But you can do these samskars, and the kid comes out very powerful, whether he or she. So when the pregnancy came, we were in Varanasi, we were in Rishikesh, we were doing havans every day, 3 havans,
Very nice.
bathing in Ganga, bathing in Yamuna. We were in, South India, all the temples. And I wanted her to be Shanti. Because the Patni is Shanti while she's pregnant, and naturally the baby also is Shanti. So, but we went to all these nice places, and the boy, when he came out, it's there. Like Prahalad, his mother was in the ashram of Narad Rishi. They wanted to kill her, to kill the boy, because he was a demon. And what did Narad Rishi do? He said, listen, you're pregnant, just relax. But she was a woman, she said, no, let me do it, I want it. You're like my son, I want to, let me at least cook a little something for you. You know, moms, it's always food or love. And he was like, no, but she did. So he was preaching, talking to other rishis and everybody about Krishna, all the pastimes, and where was it going? Into the boy.
Yeah.
So he was born, even though he's demon, he was born Pakka devotee. So yeah, I feel blessed that my son is very peaceful and chilled out. Even never cry, just totally.
Wow.
He's been doing havan since he was 1. He would come crawl,
So
sit
nice.
in my lap.
Prabhuji.
So he does the havans by himself. So I feel blessed. Because it's a hassle. You know what's the greatest tapasya now? Marriage. And the woman will blame the man and the man will blame the woman. But it's both. Because of our natures.
So Prabhu, do you teach people how to do havan? Because this is such a good thing that you do. We would love our generation also to
I love
learn.
the kids. I want to teach. Next time I come, I want to do a youth thing.
Yes, that would be great, Prabhu, so that they can also get involved and learn and then carry on. So very, very
The
inspiring.
girls can also do. But, oh wow, thank you. But they don't do the heavy mantras. They just do the Shanti mantras.
So whatever girls can do, then we would also like some guidance, Prabhuji, on how we can contribute or we can also teach them.
Very simple. It's just a daily, like every day we get up, brush our hair, brush our teeth. It's just habit. So you just, or you do puja before you go to school. You guys do puja before you go to school? You don't do puja? Ma? Just some diya you can offer to Bhagavan. This sets, it's all about energy.
Yes.
Sets an energetic mood. So it's important. You get up, have a little diya, you just put it in front of a photo. Hey, Narayana, everything is from you, everything is for you. So this cup is the energy of God. Thank you. Krishna says in Gita, I am the taste of water. Water is so nourishing. This beautiful house is from Him.
Yes,
Thank you. You're sorry, the nature, everybody, this jewelry is all created by His energy. Thank you, Bhagavan. The cell phones, iPhones, you think this is some dude making it? No. It's His energy. We're so blessed to be surrounded by His energy. All we have to do is acknowledge it. Just like we give thanks to Mom for cooking dinner, Dad for maybe making money or help. We have to also acknowledge every day Bhagavan. In the morning and the evening if possible. It takes 2 minutes.